Hey guys, what's happening? This is Shad here with Shad Bonine. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out here to a fellow YouTuber that I met here recently. His name's Brian. He's with saltfishtv. I'm going to be putting a link down below my video. Make sure you go check it out. I think if you like what I'm putting out, you'll like what he's putting out. Again, below, saltfishtv. Name's Brian. Be watching for it. Hey, what's going on today? So I got some exciting news to happen for me today. Last night I ordered a bunch of corals online. They actually showed up. Pretty good timing today, so I'm going to be putting them in the tank. First though, I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to, unbox them, acclimate them to the temperature. I'm going to do a coral dip on them. If there's any green hair algae or anything on them, I might even dip them in peroxide. And we'll see how that goes. I haven't opened the box yet. I think we should get into opening that box. Sit right here. Let's take a look and see what we got inside here. This has come from a place I've never ordered corals from. I found them online. They had a really good price. I don't know if that means they're good or not. We're going to find out. I believe these are all corals that are fragged out from somebody's personal collection. The way I understand it, from what it read on the internet site, but I might be wrong. I don't know a lot about them yet. So they got a good, safe packaging here. Got this in here, keep them hot, keep them warm, keep the right temperature for them. Okay, so what we have here, take a look at that. That one is, looks like it's a Hydra Lady. I don't know if you can read that on there, but that's what it says, Hydra Lady. Just take these over here for the moment, and I'm going to show you what I got here. Here's the RNG candy button. This is how they come right out of the box when I got them, so we'll see. They actually look really good. Some of them are even opened a little bit. This one here is a purple grape. These are on really clean frags. I'm gonna dip them because I don't know much about these, but they don't look like they have any contaminants whatsoever. This one says Free Monty. I mean, you can't really tell what they are because obviously they're not in a tank or opened up completely. This one I'll have to get open further. I can't really read on here what it is. Here's the Armor of God, right here on this one. This one's another one I can't quite make that one out. We'll get into them though. It looks like there's 3 in here. You can see this one here is kind of even somewhat, it's bad to see in the camera, but somewhat opened. I mean, obviously it's small. All these are small. They're just frags. Like I said, I believe they're frags off a personal collection. It's one of the reasons why they were a good price, I believe. All right, so we'll get into this here. Let me get things set up and I'll bring you back on. All right, so the first phase of this process, this is going to be for getting ready for the coral dip and that type of thing, is to get these frags the same temperature as the water that's in my tank currently. As of, they've been shipping, they've been in the mail now for close to 24 hours. So even with that heat pack, I'm sure nothing's perfect in there. So, and it certainly isn't the same temperature as my tank. So we're going to start that process right now. Now you can see on the bottom of this light, it does build up quite a bit of moisture. That is one thing that I'm not 100% sold on this Fluval tank. I do like how it sits right here. That way the water drips into the tank. It's one plus, I guess. Now I'm just going to simply take these. I'm going to just drop them all in here. Looks like the mollies are curious as to what's going on. I'm going to let them sit here for half an hour. Just fully submerged. It's what they recommended me doing. The seller. Plus, I planned on it anyway, so. So that'll be the first corals in the tank. As you can see, I got them all just in there, basically floating. Mollies are still all swimming around in there. I don't know how they're going to react with the corals, if it's going to sting them and kill them, or if they're going to get along. I'm at a little bit of a loss. I know when I add marine fish, they'll get ate, but right now I don't know how they're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to measure out a gallon of water, which the gallon of water is going to require 20 drops of coral dip. This is to make sure I get any hitchhikers or anything that may have come from where I got my corals so they don't end up in my tank. I purposely didn't use live rock. I used just plain rock with nothing on it, dry rock, I guess you'd call it. And I did that for a simple fact that I wanted to make sure everything was, I knew what was in my tank. Whatever's in there, I want to be able to add to it. I don't want it coming in as a hitchhiker. Another reason why I'm doing coral dip is to hopefully make sure that that stuff does not come into the tank. So I'm using this big cup here. I know it takes 4 of these for a gallon. So we're just simply going to take these. Now I already took and I measured the alkalinity, the saline, all the parameters of the water that come in one of them frags, along with what was suggested on the bag, and it was spot on, which happens to be the exact same parameters I'm using in my tank. So now that the temperature is the same, there should be no change whatsoever. So I have the water there. Here's basically the coral dip, 20 drops of this. And there we go. Now we'll make sure to mix that all up before we put them in. I do want to just gather up the frags up out of the tank here. This has been a half hour, well, actually close to 40 minutes, by the way. By the time I got to this point, I wanted to make sure that they were acclimated to the correct temperature. I'm going to run these out here quick. Then we're going to take and basically fill up, well, not fill them up, but we're going to just have like about that much water in 2 of these. These I'm going to use for flushing, or not flushing, but rinsing off the coral dip, so that they are all, I don't bring any coral dip into my tank. Alright, now we'll move out to the other area. Alright, so we have the water here with the drops in it. Simply going to make sure it's all stirred up accordingly. Make sure that everything is dissolved in the liquid. Just give it a few seconds here. This is water straight from the aquarium. You see me take it out. The same salinity as what come with the frags themselves, because I measured one of them out, did a water test on it. Everything matches perfectly, so with the temperature being the same, the water quality being the same, this should be an easy transition, aside from the actual coral dip, which may delay the opening of the coral for a day. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, from my experience. That's really all you need to do right there for that. Let that water stop moving around here. Okay, so then I'm going to simply open these up one at a time. The water that comes in with them is exactly what's in here, so I'm just going to add it in. Actually, you know what? That might, maybe I won't. I won't add it in because that might actually change the, I don't think there's enough water in these to make a difference, but what I'll do is I'll let the water go in one of the Ritz buckets. That way I got some place to put it. These frags, they come with a little plastic protector cup on them. Very good shipping. I'm really impressed with that. Just going to simply put that in there. I ordered quite a few of them, so there's a few here to do. The little protective cup that they had on them is very nice because that way they don't rub on the plastic when they're being shook up, that type of thing in the shipment. I was kind of impressed with this whole shipping on this. I've ordered corals from other places that didn't come quite this nice or efficiently. Shipping was right on time, packaging was good. They don't, I mean, they're clean. They don't hardly even have, if you look, let me pull that one out. If you look, there isn't hardly any kind of algae or anything on there. It's a clean plug. Well, rather than have you sit here and watch me unpack each one of these, like I said, I ordered a bunch of them. I'm just gonna, you got the gist of what I'm doing here right now. I'm going to take these and put them in here. Once I get them all in here, I'm just going to set a timer for about 10 minutes. Once I have the timer set for 10 minutes and it's up, I'll be back on, and then we'll take them out and we'll do a double rinse on them. And then you can see what the rinsing process is. And then they should be, we should be able to see if there's any kind of hitchhikers or anything laying behind in the water. I guess there's only two left here. We might as well just. Okay, so that's all of them that I ordered right there. They're all kind of retracted right now. They're not much to look at when you first get them because they're in the shock of the shipment. Like I said, I'm going to put this on hold now for just a second, for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes passes, then I'm going to come back and then we'll go to the next phase. I still have them in here. I did want to just mention though, I forgot to do it as we were going. I do have a turkey baster. Simply what I'm going to be doing is taking that, blasting water on them while they're in here. Not constant or anything, just enough to, if there is anything on there that's bad, it'll help blow it off. Any little hitchhikers I don't want in the tank. Basically I'm just going to try to blow them off in the dip right there. Then I'm probably not going to even use this on these. I might a little bit on a couple, but the plugs, a lot of times they have stuff on them, and I'll just, you know, make sure there's no eggs or anything on them when I scrub these off a little bit with that before I put them in the dip. We might do a little bit of that yet as well. I just wanted to mention to you about the turkey baster and the, you know, blast a little water on them, you know, get the stuff moving away. Okay, so it looks like it's been about 10 minutes. I just had the buzzer go off, so I don't want to leave them in any longer than what it says. So I'm going to take them out of the, just basically going to shake them a little bit. I'm going to take them with this hand, I'm going to drop them right into this first rinse right here. Each one of them. Giving them each a little bit of a shake. I mean, not, you know, beating the heck out of them, but shaking them, make sure anything that did die on them has wore off and taken off there. All right, so they are all out of the original. Oh, I guess there's one more in here. All right, this one here. All right, so now they're all out of the original. Now that's the first rinse. This one is going to get the majority of the coral dip off. This other one here, now I'm going to take and just kind of shake them a little bit, make sure that there's anything else that's loose off. This one as well. And these, like I said, these frags, a lot of times I would do a little scrubbing on them, that type of thing, but they are so clean. I don't know how he's actually got them, you know, to stay that clean while he had them growing on there. It's really impressive. Some of them have a little bit of green algae on them, but there's no scrubbing that would get rid of that. And I'm not going to do any peroxide. I thought about doing peroxide if they came in. You know, didn't know if I was going to expect them to have hair algae or that kind of thing on them. They don't. Just green algae on a few, not even on all of them. Alright, so now this is just water from my tank. This was too. Clean water, both. This was the first rinse to get rid of the dip. This is the second rinse, and after this stage, then they'll be going into the aquarium. I'll be doing another video with them going into the aquarium. But for right now, basically these are all ready to go. I'm just going to give you a quick... Let me switch the direction. Okay, so here's what they look like. You can see how they are all retracted here. You know, they don't look like much right now. If you're looking at them, you're thinking, well, what's so impressive about them? And really at this particular point, nothing's impressive about them whatsoever. However, once you see them in the tank under the lights and as they open up and grow, they do actually become quite impressive. So here's the water, the first rinse. Now you can see it looks like it was more like debris than it was actual. I don't see anything like any, you know, any worms or anything on there, or any. I mean, some of the stuff is fairly clear, and you wouldn't, you know, be able to take it unless you had a microphone or excuse me, a magnifying glass. But it looks like mostly it was just debris from where they were housed before. Now this first bucket, this is the one that has the actual coral dip in it. There is actually two, I can't get in there to get a good picture, but if you look down here, this bigger chunk down here, that is actually something that was alive. because I had it out and I looked at it. I put it back in here to try and give you a picture of it. Otherwise, that was the only thing I seen come off of these, and that's too small for me to tell if it was beneficial or not beneficial. So in my eyes, it's always beneficial just to get rid of it. So this has been a good thing that I did, because I found at least one hitchhiker that I may have not wanted in my tank. Otherwise, like I said, I'm going to be putting these in the tank here on the next video. Make sure you come back to see that. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if there's anything that you want me to do on the channel, video about any specific thing, or if you like this video, let me know. It always helps, because it helps me with ideas of what to do and what you guys are looking for. Otherwise, stay safe. See you on the next video. Just my little camera shy guy. You don't ever want to look at the camera. He always looks away.